She tests the men she truly wants. Most guys misread that as rejection. If you are a grown man, you have lived this. She is warm one day, distant the next. She brings up another guy out of nowhere. She replies late, then acts sweet in person. You try to explain yourself, send a longer text, smooth things over. The harder you chase clarity, the faster the energy dies. You tell yourself you did something wrong, when the truth is, she is checking one thing. Can you stay composed when your feelings are on the line? Here is the unpopular reality. Women do not test weak men. They only test men who show potential. The silent games are not random. They are pressure checks. She wants to feel a man who can lead without forcing, listen without folding, and keep his frame when emotion flares. That calm is what turns respect into desire. Today I will show you the playbook. You will learn the common tests, what they really mean, and the exact responses that keep attraction alive. You will see how to let silence work for you, how to hold boundaries without drama, and when walking away multiplies respect. Most important, you will learn the one mindset shift that flips the whole dynamic in your favor and makes her lean in by choice. Stay sharp. Let's get into it. Number 1. The test only strong men get. Here's something you need to understand right away. Women don't test every man. They only test the ones they actually want. If she's indifferent, she's polite. If she's interested, she'll challenge you. The stronger your frame, the more she'll want to see if it's real. Think of this like emotional gravity. The moment a woman senses your presence has weight, she leans in, but she also wonders, can he really hold it? That's when the tests begin. They don't always come as arguments or insults. Sometimes it's silence, sometimes sarcasm, sometimes a sudden pullback after connection. And if you don't know what's happening, you'll take it personally and react in a way that kills attraction instantly. Let's bring this into a real situation. Jason, 53, a financial consultant from Michigan, met a woman named Rebecca, 50, through a mutual friend. At first, things flowed easily. She laughed at his jokes, touched his arm, and texted first. But 2 weeks in, everything shifted. She went cold overnight. Short replies, cancelled a date. When Jason asked if everything was okay, she said, I just need some space. He panicked. He called twice, sent a long message explaining how much he liked her. Within days, she disappeared. Here's what Jason didn't know: that was a test, not rejection. Rebecca wanted to see if he could stay centered when connection got uncertain. She liked him, but she also wanted to know if his calm confidence was real or just chemistry. When he overreacted, the illusion broke. He showed her that his emotions were steering him, not the other way around. Strong men pass this test by doing less. When the energy changes, they don't chase it, they observe it. They understand that women test to feel safe, not to create drama. A test isn't about power, it's about trust. When she pulls back, she's asking, can I feel secure with a man who doesn't lose himself under pressure? That's where Stoic philosophy becomes your ally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. A woman's shifting moods, her tone, her silence, those are outside events. You can't control them. What you can control is your breath, your focus, and your reaction. That's where real masculine strength begins. In practice, it looks like this when she withdraws. You don't chase, you hold your routine. You keep the same steady energy. Maybe send one grounded message like, I understand, take your time, and then you disappear into your purpose. That silence speaks louder than 100 explanations. It says, I'm not here to control you. I'm here because I choose to be. Here's the paradox: the less you try to fix the test, the faster it resolves. When you stay calm, her curiosity returns. She starts wondering why you didn't react like every other man. That curiosity reignites attraction. Rebecca came back a month later. Jason had learned by then. When she texted, he didn't rush. He replied a day later, short and steady. "Good to hear from you." That simple sentence flipped the script. For the first time, she chased him. So remember this: tests are invitations, not insults. They reveal your depth, your discipline, and your control. If you stay grounded, she'll feel your strength more than any speech could ever prove. If you've ever noticed that calm makes her lean in, comment this: "I've seen this." Because the moment you stop fighting the test, you start winning the game. Number 2. The silent games she'll never admit. Every man who's been around women long enough knows this truth. The most powerful games aren't loud. They're quiet, invisible, and impossible to call out without sounding insecure. These silent tests are never announced yet. They reveal everything about who you are. A woman who feels drawn to you will often pull back, not to reject you, but to watch how you handle uncertainty. She might slow her responses, act distant for no reason, or bring up another man in casual conversation. She'll observe what happens next. Most men rush to fix it. They explain, they prove, they perform. They think clarity will save the connection. But in reality, the moment you over-explain, the tension dies. She's not testing your logic, she's testing your composure. That's what makes these games so dangerous. They feel unfair. You haven't done anything wrong yet, she seems different. And inside you start to feel that panic rise, the small voice saying, "Did I lose her? Did I mess up?" That's the voice that kills attraction. The truth is, she hasn't lost interest. She's simply measuring emotional stability, something words can't fake. This is where Stoicism separates the strong from the reactive. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In dating, that reaction reveals everything. You can't control her silence or mood swings, but you can control your state. The man who stays calm when the energy shifts doesn't just pass the test, he becomes the standard. So how do you do it? You don't fill the silence. You hold it. When she goes distant, don't demand answers. Let time reveal intention. If she mentions another man, don't defend yourself. Smile and stay unfazed. You're showing that your confidence isn't dependent on her reassurance. That's what she's subconsciously looking for, a man whose emotions aren't fragile. Understand this: women are emotional detectors. They can sense the smallest shift in tone or energy. When you start chasing validation, they feel it before you realize it. That's why these silent tests work. They expose any insecurity still hiding under your calm surface. But once you learn to remain grounded, those same games lose all power. The Stoics had a word for this: ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. It's not indifference, it's mastery. You're fully aware of what's happening, but you choose not to react emotionally. You don't need to win the moment, you need to own your state. That's what creates mystery. That's what builds respect. Women will never admit to playing these games because deep down they don't plan them. It's instinct, a subconscious pull towards stability. She wants to feel safe, surrendering to a man who won't collapse under pressure. The silence, the small provocations, the mixed signals, all of it is her way of finding out if you can hold space for her chaos without losing your center. When you pass these moments, something shifts. She starts speaking differently. Her tone softens, her energy opens. You didn't convince her with words, you proved it with calm. And in that calm, she feels both safety and attraction. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In this case, the best response to emotional games is to refuse to play them. You rise above, not by ignoring her, but by leading through steadiness. Because once you stop reacting to her silence, she starts craving your attention again. And that's when the quiet game flips completely in your favor. Number 3. When you react, you lose her. There's one mistake that costs more men connection than anything else: overreacting. The moment you let emotion drive your next move, the attraction shifts. You go from grounded to needy, from leader to follower, and she feels it instantly. Reaction is the moment you trade power for panic. Let's make this real. Mark, 57, a retired police officer from Arizona, met Laura, 51, through a local book club. At first, everything clicked. They had chemistry, easy conversation, and that quiet tension that only happens when two people are truly interested. But one weekend, Laura went quiet. No messages, no calls. Mark felt that old anxiety creep in. Did I say something wrong? Did she meet someone else? Instead of holding steady, he texted her 3 times in one day. Hey, are you okay? Did I upset you? Guess you're busy. By the time Laura replied, the red energy was gone. She said she needed space, not because of the texts themselves, but because his reaction made her feel like she had to manage his emotions. That's the silent shift that kills attraction. When a woman feels you're emotionally dependent on her response, she loses trust in your strength. What she once saw as confidence now looks like control. And once she feels she has to protect your feelings, the polarity flips. She becomes masculine, you become reactive. The attraction fades. The truth is, women don't leave because you care. They pull back because you can't stay calm. When you chase reassurance, you reveal the one thing she fears most, that your strength was only situational. She tested it and it broke. Stoic philosophy has warned about this for centuries. Epictetus said, "Anyone capable of angering you becomes your master." The same rule applies to anxiety. The person who can make you overreact controls your frame. When you stay calm, you keep your power. What should Mark have done instead? Nothing, at least not right away. If she needed space, give it. Let her reach out first. If she doesn't, your silence still protects your dignity. A man's calm absence says more than a dozen messages ever could. When a woman feels your steadiness, she starts to wonder what's going through your mind. Not out of fear, but curiosity. That curiosity is desire. Reaction kills curiosity. Calm builds it. In moments of emotional pressure, women subconsciously look for stability. When you react, she can't relax. When you hold your ground, she feels safe again. It's not that she wants you to be emotionless. She wants your emotions to be contained, not chaotic. Mark eventually learned that lesson. A few months later, he started seeing someone new. When she went quiet one weekend, he smiled, put his phone down, and went to the gym. 2 days later, she texted, "I was just thinking about you." That's how it works. When you don't chase, she comes closer. This isn't about manipulation, it's about discipline. The Stoics believed emotional control is the foundation of freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Her silence, her pullback, her test, all of that is outside your control. But how you respond, that defines you. So remember this: when you react, you lose her. When you stay calm, you lead her. If you've ever seen how your silence changed everything, comment this: "I felt that." Because attraction isn't built in the easy moments. It's proven in the ones that test your control. Number 4. Why she tests you harder when she likes you. It sounds twisted, but it's true. The more a woman likes you, the harder she'll test you. The stronger her attraction, the more she'll push against it. Not because she wants to drive you away, but because she wants to know if you can handle the real her, the emotional chaos, the doubt, the intensity. When a woman truly wants you, she's not just drawn to your strength. She's trying to measure it. Attraction without trust makes her nervous. That's why she tests. She wants to feel that you're steady enough to lead her emotions without drowning in them. The irony is that her behavior often looks like rejection. She pulls away, gets moody, questions your intentions. But under that surface, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to see if you'll stay calm when things get uncomfortable. This is where most men fail. They mistake her test for disrespect, and they react with frustration, anger, or withdrawal. They argue, they explain, they demand answers. But when you fight a test, you fail it. The test isn't about your words, it's about your energy. She's not listening to what you say. She's feeling who you are when things shift. Stoic philosophy helps decode this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings." That's the mindset of mastery. Instead of judging her behavior, look inward. Ask, why does this bother me? What fear is she pressing against? Once you find it, she loses her power over your emotions. That's when attraction deepens, because now you're no longer reacting, you're leading. Think about it. If she didn't care, she wouldn't bother testing you. Indifference doesn't test, only interest does. The stronger her feelings, the more her instinct kicks in to make sure you're safe, not just physically but emotionally. She wants to know that your confidence isn't temporary, that it's built on discipline, not approval. When you stay centered through her tests, she relaxes. Her guard lowers. And that's when real connection begins. You become a man she can admire, not because you conquered her, but because you didn't lose yourself trying to please her. Here's the key: the test always ends the moment she realizes she can't shake your frame. You don't need to lecture her, punish her, or prove your point. Your silence, your patience, and your steady tone do all the work. Women feel that composure on a primal level. It communicates safety, strength, and mystery all at once. But this takes practice. It's not something you fake, it's something you build. That's why I created the private membership, a place where men like you learn how to master this frame for real. Inside, I break down real-life scenarios, text examples, and Stoic mindset drills that train you to stay calm when women test, pull away, or shift energy. You'll learn how to respond with strength, how to reframe emotional moments, and how to create attraction through grounded silence. If you're ready to stop losing control and start leading with quiet authority, the link is in the description. Join the membership and start mastering this in real time. Because the truth is simple: when she tests you harder, it means she feels something real. Stay calm, stay grounded, and she'll stop testing and start trusting. Number 5. The trap every good man falls into. Every man who's ever cared deeply about a woman has fallen into this trap at least once. It doesn't start with weakness, it starts with good intentions. You want to understand her, protect her, make things easier for her. You think that if you can just show her how much you care, she'll relax, stop testing, and see that you're one of the good ones. But what begins as kindness quietly becomes overinvestment. And overinvestment kills attraction faster than anything. Let's take an example. David, 54, owns a small auto repair business in Ohio. He's divorced, grounded, the kind of man who does the right thing by instinct. When he met Lisa, 51, through mutual friends, he was ready to build something real. At first, things went perfectly good: chemistry, shared humor, a growing bond. Then Lisa started pulling back. She took longer to reply, cancelled a few plans, said she needed time. David panicked. He thought she was slipping away, so he doubled his effort, brought flowers, sent reassuring messages, offered to talk through whatever was bothering her. He thought he was being loyal. In reality, he was chasing validation. Lisa didn't pull away because she wanted him to try harder. She pulled away to see if he could stay calm when she wasn't giving him constant comfort. But every time he pushed to prove himself, she felt the energy shift from leadership to need. The man who seemed strong now looked dependent. That's the trap every good man falls into, mistaking effort for strength. Women don't fall for effort, they fall for centeredness. When your peace depends on her mood, she can't trust your frame. No woman wants to feel responsible for a man's emotions. It's not romantic, it's heavy. What creates attraction is when you can care deeply and still stay detached from the outcome. That's real emotional control. Stoic philosophy has always taught this balance. Epictetus said, "Attach yourself to what you can control and let the rest go." You can control your actions, not her reactions. You can offer presence, not persuasion. The moment you start managing her feelings, you stop leading. When David finally stopped chasing, something changed. He focused on his work, reconnected with friends, and returned to his calm rhythm. Weeks later, Lisa reached out again, not because he convinced her, but because his silence reminded her of his strength. Women are drawn to the man who doesn't lose himself in pursuit. The man who can walk away if respect disappears. Here's what every good man needs to remember. Your kindness is only powerful when it's paired with boundaries. Giving without self-respect isn't love. It's self-erasure. You can be generous without being desperate. You can listen without explaining yourself. You can care without chasing. The next time a woman pulls back, test yourself first. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" ask, "What do I need to stay centered?" That one shift will save you years of emotional frustration. Because when you stay grounded, her tests lose their meaning. David learned that lesson the hard way. But once he did, everything changed. His next relationship grew naturally. No panic, no guessing, no chasing. Just presence, confidence, and calm. So brother, stop trying to earn what's meant to flow. The right woman doesn't need constant proof. She needs consistency. And the man who learns to stay still in chaos is the one every woman eventually trusts. If you've ever given too much and watched it backfire, type this in the comments. "I felt that." Because the moment you stop chasing peace from her, you start creating peace within yourself, and that's where real attraction begins. Number 6. The Stoic frame that turns the test around. Every woman eventually tests a man, but what she's really doing is searching for his center. She wants to know if his strength is something she can lean into or something that crumbles under emotion. The Stoic frame is what turns those tests into moments of power. It's not about ignoring her or outsmarting her. It's about mastering yourself so completely that nothing she does can shake your peace. A Stoic frame means you are grounded, calm, and unreactive without being cold. You don't suppress emotion, you command it. You don't run from tension, you hold it. The Stoics called this euthymia, the inner confidence that comes from walking your path without being pulled by the noise of the world. In relationships, that means you don't chase, you don't argue to be understood, and you don't explain yourself when you already know your truth. When a woman tests you through silence, sarcasm, jealousy, or distance, you don't need to fight back. You observe, you breathe, you let her storm pass, and when she's calm, she realizes she was never in a battle with you, only with her own emotions. Your steadiness becomes her anchor. That's how attraction deepens. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's the foundation of the Stoic frame. When you need her approval to feel steady, you've already lost freedom. But when you can stay composed, no matter what she does, you become the rare man she can trust. The more chaotic she feels inside, the more she craves that composure. Here's what it looks like in practice. When she pulls away, don't chase. When she gets emotional, don't mirror it. When she tests your patience, smile not sarcastically, but with calm understanding. Your energy says, "I'm here, but I'm not moved." That doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. Stoic calm isn't weakness, it's power with boundaries. You can walk away when needed, but never in anger, only with certainty. The moment you adopt this frame, the game flips. Her tests stop being battles, they become opportunities to reinforce your strength. Every time you stay grounded, you're silently communicating. You can trust me. I don't collapse under pressure. And trust is the seed of desire. Women often test because they're afraid to surrender. In a world where emotional control is rare, your calm becomes intoxicating. She starts associating your presence with peace. That's what creates long-term attraction, not flashy words or promises, but consistent energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is endurable, then endure it." Stop complaining. That doesn't mean accept everything blindly. It means stop reacting to every feeling like it's a crisis. Endure what's trivial, act only when it truly matters. That's how you lead emotionally. When you live inside the Stoic frame, nothing she does feels personal. Her mood isn't a threat. It's just weather. You don't take it as rejection, you see it as rhythm. Some days it rains, some days it shines. But you stay the same man in both. That's leadership. That's masculine grace. The moment you internalize this mindset, attraction stops being fragile. You stop walking on eggshells. You stop needing to prove yourself. You become the calm in the storm, and she feels it even when you're not around. Because in the end, every woman tests, but only a few men make her feel safe enough to stop. And those few men, they all share one thing in common: the Stoic frame. Number 7. When calm becomes power. There's a moment every strong man reaches when his calm stops being quiet and starts becoming magnetic. At first, calm feels like patience. Later, it turns into presence. And when you reach that level, women feel it before you say a single word. Calm becomes power, not because it's passive, but because it's controlled energy. Let's put this into a real story. Michael, 56, runs a small construction company in North Carolina. He's been divorced for 6 years, focused on his work, and has finally started dating again. He met Claire, 52, at a local charity dinner. She was lively, smart, and flirtatious, but after their first few dates, things shifted. She started throwing subtle tests, small jabs, sudden distance, even bringing up other men, just to gauge his reaction. The old Michael would have taken the bait. He would have defended himself, joked it off, or asked where they stood. But this time he didn't. He'd learned to let space do the work. When Claire made a comment like, "You must have plenty of women chasing you," he simply smiled and said, "You worry too much." Calm tone, no edge, no explanation. He didn't argue, didn't overcompensate. That moment changed everything. She laughed, touched his arm, and said softly, "You're hard to read. That's not confusion, that's attraction." See, calm isn't the absence of emotion. It's mastery over it. When a woman can't move you off your center, she starts to respect you differently. It's not fear-based respect. It's instinctual. She feels like she's finally met a man who isn't at the mercy of her emotions, and that's rare. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Calm power comes from living that line. You don't chase validation. You don't react to chaos. You lead the energy of the moment, instead of getting swept away by it. Here's what happens when calm becomes power. Silence starts working for you. Pauses in conversation draw her in. The steadiness in your tone makes her feel safe. The lack of overreaction makes her curious. Women are emotional by nature. They feel everything intensely. So, when they meet a man who stays grounded no matter what, it pulls them in like gravity. Michael's calm didn't make him distant, it made him solid. He didn't flinch when Claire pushed. He didn't rush when she pulled away. His focus stayed on his purpose, his business, his fitness, his peace. That's when Claire started chasing him more. She began texting first, suggesting plans, investing emotionally. His calm became the rhythm she wanted to match. That's the beauty of stillness. It's contagious. When you stay centered, everyone around you starts sinking to your energy. You don't have to demand respect. Your composure commands it. Calm becomes power the day you stop needing anything from her. You can enjoy her attention without craving it. You can listen without reacting. You can love without losing yourself. That balance is what every woman secretly wants. Not control, but leadership through peace. Michael told me something powerful after that. I realized my silence spoke louder than my words ever did. That's the mark of a man who understands his worth. So remember this, your calm isn't weakness, it's strength refined. The world may call it indifference, but the right woman will call it safety. If you've ever seen a woman soften in your presence just because you stayed grounded, type this in the comments. I've seen this. Because when calm becomes power, you stop chasing women and start attracting peace. Number 8. The hidden reward behind her resistance. Every man who's been tested by a woman knows that moment she resists, pulls back, questions your motives, and it feels like she's working against you. But here's the truth that most men never learn: her resistance isn't rejection. It's the threshold between attraction and trust. And if you handle it right, what comes after it is deeper than passion. It's loyalty. When a woman resists you, she's not just fighting your advance. She's fighting her own fear. Fear of getting hurt, of losing control, of opening up to something that could change her. And the stronger her attraction, the stronger that fear becomes. That's why women often pull away right when things are going well. It's not that she's lost interest, it's that she's feeling too much. Most men fail here because they take resistance personally. They see it as rejection, so they either argue, chase, or walk away too soon. But a Stoic man sees it differently. He understands that resistance is natural, even necessary. It's her way of making sure your calm isn't an act that your frame can hold when emotion rises. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Her resistance is that impediment. It's not a wall to avoid. It's a doorway to move through slowly, calmly, without force. When you stop seeing it as an obstacle and start seeing it as part of the process, your entire energy changes. This is where the Stoic mindset separates men who break under pressure from men who build connection through it. When she resists, you don't push back. You slow down. You stay consistent. You don't lecture or defend. You simply show through steady behavior that her emotions can't shake your direction. And that steadiness becomes the attraction. Think of it like sailing in rough water. You don't fight the waves, you adjust your grip, you stay centered, you let the wind work with you. Her emotions are those waves. They're not meant to be controlled. They're meant to be navigated. When she sees that you can do that without frustration or ego, her respect for you multiplies. The hidden reward behind her resistance is that once you pass through it, she opens up in a way she never does with other men. You've proven something most can't, that you're strong enough to handle her intensity without losing your balance. That's when attraction becomes something deeper, quieter, more powerful. The Stoics called this virtue sophrosyne, the harmony between reason and desire. It's not about suppressing passion, it's about aligning it with discipline. When you apply this to relationships, it means you stay passionate without being impulsive, caring without being consumed. The reward isn't just her affection, it's her surrender the moment she realizes she can trust you emotionally and sexually. Because a woman can only let go when she feels safe in your strength. So the next time she resists, don't take it as a sign to prove yourself. Take it as a signal to slow down, breathe, and hold your ground. You're not being tested to be punished. You're being tested to be trusted. Remember what Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body." Her resistance is your training ground. Each test you face without reacting makes you sharper, calmer, and more magnetic. And when you finally stop fearing her resistance, you'll see the truth. It's not a barrier. It's an invitation to earn something real. Number 9. She'll respect the man who can walk away. There's one truth that separates men who get respected from men who get drained. A woman only respects the man who can walk away. She may be drawn to charm, money, or looks, but she's moved by self-control. The ability to walk away is the final proof of inner strength, and it's the moment she realizes she can't manipulate, test, or guilt you out of your peace. Let's make this real. Tom, 58, a business owner from Colorado, met Sarah, 54, through mutual friends. They had chemistry from the start. Great conversation, real laughter, that spark you can't fake. But over time, Sarah started testing him. She'd cancel plans last minute, question his intentions, even flirt with other men at gatherings to get a reaction. Tom cared deeply for her, so he tried to talk through it. He told her how he felt, asked her to stop, tried to explain that he was serious about her. But every time he chased understanding, she pulled further away. Then, one night after another cancelled dinner, something in Tom shifted. Instead of sending another message or trying to fix things, he stayed quiet. He didn't call. He didn't ask for closure. He didn't play cold. He simply detached with peace. He chose his dignity over his desire. 2 weeks later, Sarah texted him out of nowhere, "I miss your calm energy. I didn't realize how steady you made me feel." That's what walking away does. It flips the power dynamic instantly. Here's why: when a woman feels like she can break your focus, she loses respect. But when you show her that your center doesn't depend on her attention, something shifts. You go from being one of many to being one of a kind. Because very few men can detach with grace. Most leave in anger or stay in desperation. But the man who can walk away silently, without resentment, without begging, becomes unforgettable. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." In love, that bravery is your willingness to lose her rather than lose yourself. You're not walking away because you stopped caring. You're walking away because you care about your peace more. That's the type of confidence that doesn't need validation. It's the difference between wanting her and needing her. And women feel that distinction immediately. When you stay calm in withdrawal, it tells her, your happiness isn't up for negotiation. You're not punishing her, you're protecting your frame. She might not understand it consciously, but emotionally it hits her deeply. Your silence becomes the mirror that shows her what she's losing. This doesn't mean playing games or pretending to be indifferent. It means understanding your worth so completely that you never have to prove it. You love, fully give generously, but always from choice, not from fear. When you can walk away with peace, you signal power on a level words can't reach. Tom didn't walk away to get Sarah back, but she came back anyway because he broke a pattern. He showed her something rare, a man whose love was real but not desperate. And that kind of strength is what every woman quietly hopes to find. So brother, remember this: if you can't walk away, you'll never be fully respected. The moment she knows you can, she'll start treating you differently. If you've ever felt the calm power of detachment, comment, "This, I want that." Because in the end, walking away isn't about leaving her, it's about returning to yourself. And that's the moment every real man earns her deepest respect. Number 10. Desire her, don't depend on her. There's a fine line between attraction and attachment, and most men cross it without realizing. At first, desire feels pure. You're drawn to her energy, her warmth, her beauty. But over time, that desire quietly turns into dependence. You start waiting for her text to feel wanted, adjusting your schedule to match hers, measuring your mood by her attention. And before you know it, you've given her something she never asked for: control over your peace. The strongest men know this truth: desire is natural, but dependence is poison. When you depend on her for emotional balance, you lose your frame. You stop leading and start orbiting her world. That shift kills attraction faster than any mistake, because women can feel it instantly. Desire is magnetic. Dependence is heavy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The same applies here. You can desire her, admire her, even love her deeply, but the moment your happiness depends on her reaction, you've stepped outside your power. A Stoic man doesn't suppress emotion, he owns it. He can want her without needing her. That's the balance that creates both attraction and peace. Here's the key difference. Desire is a choice. Dependence is compulsion. When you desire, you move from strength, you give because you want to. When you depend, you move from fear, you give because you're afraid to lose. Women feel the energy of both. One makes them melt, the other makes them pull away. Let's look at how this plays out in real life. A man who desires his woman will enjoy her presence but still keep his purpose first. He'll take time for his business, his gym, his solitude. He's not cold, he's complete. And that completeness makes his attention valuable. When he chooses to give it, she feels special because she knows he doesn't need to. But a man who depends on her loses that magic. He's always available, always explaining, always waiting. The more he gives from emptiness, the more she feels pressure instead of passion. The Stoics had a word for this: autarkia, self-sufficiency. It's the state of being whole within yourself, needing nothing external to maintain your peace. When you live this way, your relationships stop being cages and start being choices. You stop chasing and you start attracting naturally. Here's the paradox. Women don't want to be your whole world. They want to be part of a world that's already rich. When you treat her as your only source of happiness, she feels trapped. When you treat her as a complement to your mission, she feels safe. Your independence creates the emotional space she needs to truly desire you back. Desire her absolutely. Let her know you want her. Look at her with that steady confidence that says, "I see you, I choose you." But never build your identity around her response. A man's deepest strength comes from being grounded in himself. When you can walk alone without losing warmth, you become the kind of man no woman ever forgets. Seneca said it perfectly: "He who needs less is nearest to the gods." In modern terms, that means freedom. Freedom from overthinking, from insecurity, from dependence. You don't need her approval to feel valuable. You already are. So desire her freely, fully, fearlessly. But keep your center. Because a woman's heart opens not to the man who needs her, but to the man who's complete without her. Everything you've just learned in this video comes down to one simple truth. Power in relationships doesn't come from control. It comes from calm. The most attractive men aren't the loudest, the richest, or the most charming. They're the ones who stay centered when emotions rise, who can want a woman deeply without losing themselves in that want. We talked about tests, silence, distance, and resistance, but underneath it all, the real message is about self-mastery. When you hold your frame, when you lead with quiet confidence, when you can walk away with peace, you stop chasing validation and start earning respect. That's what every man watching this needs to remember. If you're ready to take this mindset beyond theory, to actually apply it in your dating life, your communication, and your leadership, join the private membership. Inside, we go deeper into Stoic practice, emotional discipline, and real-world strategies to help you lead with clarity and masculine strength every single day. The link is in the description below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching, for thinking differently, and for becoming the kind of man who leads through stillness. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.